All right, good day everyone. So today we are going to discuss topic number 6 of our subject, entrepreneurial behavior. It is entitled Entrepreneurial Leadership Style. Okay, so let's proceed. So we have 6 style in entrepreneurial leadership. So first is the auto authoritative style. Okay? Or autocratic. When we say autocratic, no, it is also referred as directive leadership style. It is also known as directive leadership style, no? So this leader give team members a my way or the highway ultimatum. Okay? So whether it is a sales goal or a customer service process, team members are in constant fear of being one mistake, a failure, away from being fired. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, itong leader na to, yung walang choice yung mga team members niya kundi sumunod, no? So, parang takot silang magkamali. Kasi anytime na magkamali sila, pwede silang paalisin sa company. Okay? So, let's proceed. So, I have here an example of authoritative style, no? So, usually ito, applicable siya sa mga sales agent, no? A sales representative, may mga goal yan, no? Sabihin natin 30 sales per month. Dapat mabenta mo yun. Kasi kung hindi, possible, tatanggalin ka nila sa work. Medyo mahirap yung ganitong boss, no? They keep on give goal, a specific goal sa mga ano nila, sa mga members nila. Okay? So this style creates low team morale. Okay? And is not effective long-term style. So I have a friend, no, na work siya sa BPO, napunta siya sa sales. Sobrang stress niya kasi kailangan ganito, may quota sila pagdating sa sales. So sobrang stress niya, na ano siya, na Bell's palsy, no? Yung parang ganun. So minsan yung ganitong, which is nakakatulong sa company, no? Nakaka-produce ng sales, pero usually nagre-resign lagi yung mga um, employee nito, no? Hindi tumatagal kasi nga na ano sila, na-stress sila dun sa pagiging authoritative. No? Kapag ganito, minsan may mga boss na ganito, no? Kapag ganito sinabi ko, ganito lang susundin yun. Okay? Let's proceed with the next style ng entrepreneurial leadership, affiliative style. No? So, ito naman, affiliative leader wants to be part of the team. No? In this style, the foundation of success is team building and trust. Affiliative leadership often creates high morale, but it possesses problem din, no? So, when the boss needs to make difficult decisions such as this disciplinary action, it comes difficult with the leader views. Okay, they views the team as a friend. Okay, ito naman, kabaligtaran, no? Yung authoritative kanina, kung ano yung utos niya, gano'n. Ito naman, gusto niya yung nakikisali siya na as part of the team. Yung parang naging friend na lang niya. So, kaya lang ang ano nito, problem nito, nagiging over familiar yung mga team members. Kaya, yung wala na yung, alam nila na boss siya, pero yung respect parang friend na lang. Ngayon, kapag once na disciplinary action, mahirap gawin to para sa kanya kasi nga, mga friend na lang niya yun or nagiging bias na siya. Kasi nga, hindi na niya nabibigyan ng tamang disciplinary action. At sa pagiging over familiar ng mga team members, na nawawala yung respect. Okay? Yan yung downside. So, another style ng entrepreneurial leadership is democratic style. No? Ito naman, it refer to as ito tinatawag din tong participative leadership style, no? Yung democratic. So, this leader always asks for a team member input. Ito naman, no? While team members might feel good about having saying things, no? Confusion is often the result. So, usually naman, pag democratic naman, kabaliktaran ng autocratic, no? Na ito yung decision niya ang masusunod. Ito naman democratic, inaalaw niya magdesisyon yung mga team members. Okay? So, a leader can lose his handle on a team when a team has too much power, no? And doesn't buy into a leader's vision. Ito naman yung downside ng democratic. Dahil inaalaw nga niya yung mga opinion ng iba, ang mangyayari niyan. Nagkakaroon na ng too much power parang nawawala na yung pagiging leader niya kasi nga inaasa na lang niya yung mga opinion or decision making sa mga tao niya. Ayan naman yung democratic, no? While employees may have positive reaction in this style, companies often struggle under it. Okay, so next is yung pace setting style. No, pace setting leadership aims at setting high standard of performance for a leader as well as the team in an organization. So this approach is suitable for highly competent and motivated team who work under tight deadlines. Okay? Pace setter usually have high turnover rate and subordinates can't keep up and often burn out. Ito naman. Ang problema naman nito, yung leader gusto niya merong high standard siya at ang kanyang team, no? Hindi lang siya. Parang kumbaga sa ano ito yung leader na perfectionist, no? Kung dapat high standard yung team niya, high standard siya. Okay? So usually yung iba naboburn out. Ito yung downside niya, no? Naboburn out yung mga employee, yung mga team, nagre-resign. Okay? So, ayan ang pace setting. So next is coaching style. Coaching leadership is positive environment for the workplace. No? Employees feel coaching leaders are investing in growth and taking the time to build individual skills for success. Okay? So, ito naman coaching leadership, no? Tinuturo niya na lahat ng nalalaman niya. Minsan may mga boss na gusto niya sila lang yung may alam, no? Yung ayaw nilang malampasan ng kanilang mga team. Pero kabaliktaran nitong coaching style naman, tinuturo niya lahat. Gusto niya matuto lahat ang kanyang mga team members, subordinate, no? So, positive naman to. No? Okay. Next is, so another definition for coaching style. So, while this positive environment, coaching leaders need to recognize when to draw the line between more training, okay, and replacing employees who aren't performing despite coaching. Ayan, ito naman yung downside ng coaching. Though positive naman siya, though tinuturo. Ang nangyayari na uubos minsan yung oras mo sa kakaturo doon sa members. No, maasa na lang paturo, ganun. So dapat nagsiset siya ng time, iba yung training, no? Iba um yung maganda yung tinuturuan mo sila, pero yung laging paulit-ulit na hindi na natututo, hindi na nakapag-stand sa sarili nila yung team leaders. Yun naman yung downside niya. So, nauubos yung oras mo. Instead of marami ka pang gagawin, syempre, ikaw, ang bait mo naman. Sobrang, tuwan-tuwa ka magturo, no? So, ayan naman downside niya. Okay? Transformational style. So, ito mamaya, discuss natin, merong comparative pagdating sa transformational leadership. Ito naman yung pinaka-best entrepreneurial leadership style, no? Because it has a shared vision of the future. Okay? So, a leader will use effective communication skill in this approach to reach out team quickly. Okay, when we say transformational, no, it will have an outstanding qualities such as self-awareness, empathy, integrity, and so forth. All of them enable business to increase its productivity and grow to a large extent. Okay. So, ayun yung six, yung kilalang leadership style. Pero meron pa tayong other leadership style, no? Yung iba kasi umaabot ng 15, pero yung anim lang yung pinaka, ano. Ito, meron din tayong tinatawag na bureaucratic o paternalistic style. Ito naman, itong style to is one where the leader tends to make decision based on policies and precedent, no? That is what has gone before. Okay? They generally believe that this is in the best interest of their team to maintain steady, reliable operation. Okay? So, although not all suggestion from their team in a way autocratic leadership might be, they're most likely to support anything that is new to the different. Okay. This leadership style works well in stable, predictable environment when there is a little external competition or need for change. It works well with individuals who are happy to follow the routines, no, and the way they have always been done. So, ito, bureaucratic, parang pares lang siya sa ano, no, democratic, no? Parang inaalaw niya yung team ng mag-decide na para sa company. So, ang pinagkaiba naman nito is yung kanina, na Um, ayan. Ang pinagkaiba naman nito is mas ano to, mas okay to kaysa sa Democratic kasi yung kanina hinahayaan na lang niya magdesisyon. Ito naman, hinahayaan niya mag-allow, no? Yung kanyang team na mag-decide. Pero kukuha siya ng mga idea nun. Hindi lahat, no? Sasamahan niya lang ng idea niya. Yung magdidesisyon at siya based doon sa idea nila tapos sasama niya sa idea, no? Idea niya. So, ito naman yung paternalistic. Okay? Kasi yung democratic, nayaan na lang niya lahat, no? Yung kanyang team na mag-decide. Ito naman, kinahalo niya yung idea niya from idea doon ng team members. Okay? Sige, let's proceed. Okay, ito na other style. Laissez-faire style. So, this is a hands-off style of leadership, where the leader essentially delegates decision-making authority out of individuals in the team. So medyo parehas lang din, no? This leads to individual essentially deciding for themselves what to do, what to prioritize, and how they will work. Okay. So this approach is well suited in a fast-growing team wherein speedy decision-making is a key. So there needs to be an acceptance that some decisions that are made will be incorrect and some work will have abandoned or redone. I see is fair. Parang parehas lang din siya, no? Sa Democratic. Na-allow din niya mag-decide yung kanyang team members. Pero ito, na, ay hindi. Pagdating sa decision making, no? Dine-delegate din niya. Parang parehas lang siya sa Democratic. Okay? Pero, ito naman laissez-faire, hinahayaan niya yung team mag-explore, no? Yung hindi siya nakikialam doon sa ang gagawin ng mga priority ng ano, as long as meron siyang output. No, wala siyang pakialam kung nakikipagchismisan ba yung mga team niya, no? Basta as long as meron kang output na ibibigay. Yun, okay sa kanya yun. Okay? So, kung ano yung kasi 'di ba sa work iba-iba, wala siyang pakialam, wala siyang standard, no? Hindi niya pinapakialaman yung mga ano niya. As long as pag hiningi niya yung output, ibibigay sa kanya. Ito naman yung laziest pair. Okay? Ito usually, ano to eh. Ginagamit to sa accounting department. No? Wala silang pakialam as long as kapag nandyan na yung due date for FS, mapoproduce nila. Okay? So, ito yung other style, no? Kanina diniscuss na natin transformational. Pero, ano ba pinagkaiba ng transformational sa transactional leadership in entrepreneurship, no? So, when we say transactional, pakita natin. So, from this picture, no, makikita natin. Transactional, ito yung transformational. Ano? If you can see, anong sa tingin yung mas maganda dyan? Yung transactional o transformational? Okay, sa picture pa lang makikita na natin, no? Pero discuss natin in detail. Okay? So, when we say transactional leaders, it occurs when followers are moved to complete their roles as agreed with a leader in exchange for a reward. Okay? Ibig sabihin, itong transactional leader, they focus on goals. No? They use yung reward saka punishment for motivation. They are active in nature. No? On the other hand, when we say transformational leaders, these move followers to awareness about what is important and away from their own self-interest. Okay? So, ito naman, they focus on vision. They use charisma and enthusiasm for motivation. They are proactive in nature. Okay? Now, let's discuss yung three forms of transactional leadership. Meron three forms. Unang-una is yung passive. Okay, sa transactional tayo, no? When we say passive, the leader set goals and only interfere if the goal happen at a net or if problem arise. No? So, ito yung transactional, no? Na nagsiset siya ng goals, tapos hinahayaan na niya yung trumabaho yung mga team niya. No? Kapag may problema, saka na lang siya mag-i-interfere. Yan yung passive transactional leadership. So, meron naman tayong tinatawag na active. When we say active, this transactional leader models progress and make adjustment when called for. Ito naman, no? Masyadong active siya, no? Every time na ginagawa, oh, kumusta? Ano nang nangyayari? Lagi siyang nandyan, no? Lagi siyang um, um, ti- lagi niya pinapakita sa ano niya yung mga dapat nilang gawin. Okay? Active siya. No? Ang pangatlo naman is constructive. So, here, the leader articulate the expectation and praises what is going well and share suggestion, tips, and feedback. No? Ito naman yung pagdating sa transactional, mahilig siyang um, bigay ng expectation tapos pag nagawa naman yun, gino-good job niya. Good job, great job. Yan. So, pinipraise niya yung, nagbibigay siya kagad ng feedback, no? Kung okay ba yung trabaho mo or hindi. So, ito yung transactional leadership. Okay? Pagdating naman sa transformational leadership, meron tayong tinatawag na four elements. Okay? Una-una is intellectual stimulation. Ito, encouraging new experience and ways of thinking for themselves and employee. Okay? So, ito, intellectual, para ina-encourage niya yung mga um, team niya through intellectual stimulation. Nagtatanong siya ng mga question katulad ng nandito sa picture, no? If you were Steve Jobs, what would we do? Parang nahayaan niya mag-isip yung yung kanyang team based doon sa situation. Ito intellectual stimulation. Okay? Meron tayong tinatawag na individual consideration. Okay? So, ito naman, mentoring employees and supporting their professional development. Okay? So, ito naman, lagi siyang nandyan, no? Individual consider niya yung kakayanan ng bawat team members niya, no? Sinusupport niya yung kakayanan. Kunyari, merong hindi ganun kagaling, yun yung tututukan niya. Okay? Okay, meron naman tayong tinatawag na inspirational motivation. Ito naman yung mga leaders na yung full support, no? Moral support, no? Kaya mo yan, never give up, na imparting vision for an organization that employees internalize and make their own. Ano? So, ibig sabihin, i-inspire niya lagi, never give up, kakayanin natin yan. Tulong-tulong tayo. Yan. Yan yung mga word na lagi sinasabi, inspirational motivation. Ito yung last, no? Idealize influence. When we say idealize influence, ito naman yung serving as a role model and how they expect employees to conduct themselves. Okay? So, idealized influence naman, nagsiserve siya as role model. Okay? Ginagawa niya muna, pinapakita niya muna yung mga dapat gawin, sa kanya ibibigay sa employee niya, yung team niya kung paano yung gagawin. Okay? No? To summarize, no, yung pagdating sa transactional, yung organizational effectiveness, effective siya ka pagdating sa current organizational goal. Tapos, nakokontrol nila yung employee. On the other hand, transformational, ito naman, maganda siya pagdating sa organizational change. No? Ito naman, maganda for employee development. No? In order for us to understand more, okay? So, pagdating sa, yan, meron daw special component yung transactional at saka yung transformational. Ito yung motivation. Okay? Pagdating sa motivation, when we say transactional, okay, they use extrinsic, meaning employees are motivated to receive rewards. No, motivated sila kasi meron silang makukuha. Gagalingan ko kasi merong monetary prize kapag ano ka, ano, na bibigyan ka ng award. So, ginagalingan ng ano, ng employee. On the other hand, ang transformational, they use intrinsic. Ito naman, meaning yung employee are motivated because they find it personally beneficial. Okay? Ibig sabihin, um, yung ginagawa ng mga empleyado, yung mga ginagawa nila kasi magbe-benefit to, no? Kasi kunyari nag-increase yung sales ng company, pati sila mag-i-increase din, no? So yan yung motivation ng ano, na pati sila mag-i-increase. Kunyari, kapag nag-increase yung sales, of course, lalaki rin yung sahod. Bibigyan din ng malaking sahod, mag-i-increase din sila, mapopromote din sila. So yun yung pinagkaiba, no? Transformational, kasi alam nyo, ginagawa niya to kasi magbe-benefit din siya dun. No? Okay. So, pagdating naman sa achieving result, magkaiba rin sila, no? When we say transactional, it revolves around low level of exchange. Kapag sinabing low level, yan yung mga salary, holiday, work hours, benefits, no? Kunyari, nagawa mo yung goal. Okay? So, yung salary increase, okay, may mga holidays ka, dadagdagan natin yung mga sick leave, no? Tapos yung working hours ba, minsan, ano, bibigyan ka ng, tawag dito, yung 4 weeks na lang yung pasok, 4 days na lang yung pasok mo in a week, yan, yung mga benefits mo tataasan, yan yung transactional leader, no? Kapag transformational naman, high level exchange naman to. Okay? Ito yung binibigyan siya ng trust, personal commitment, loyalty, support, protection, and acceptance. No? Kapag itong member na to, magaling sa work, no? Ang nangyayari yung mga companies, pinoprotect siya, no? Binibigyan siya ng um, loyalty award, pinoprotect siya. Ibig sabihin, binibigay sa kanya yung mga trust, no, ng company. Okay. Yung commitment, ayan. And support. Ayan, transformational. Okay? Okay. Sabi diyan, yung transactional leadership, nagre-respond siya sa problem as they arise. Okay? On the other hand, yung transformational leadership is more likely to solve problem before they become critical. Okay? Ito transactional kapag nandiyan na yung problema, sige, solve natin. Yung transformational, bago pa siya maging critical, sinusolve na nila. Okay? So, meron pang difference, no? When we say transactional leadership, work within existing organizational culture. Kung ano lang standard, yun lang tayo, no? So, pag transformational leadership, emphasize new idea. Okay? Okay, transactional leadership, yun nga, yung katulad kanina, no? Yung rewards and punish according to organizational standard. Pero pag sinabing transformational, encourage investment tsaka project. Okay? Yan yung pinagkaiba. Okay. Pagdating naman sa transactional leadership is leaders with a little authority lang. Okay? Pero pag transformational, leaders with charisma and influence. Ayun yung pinagkaiba niya. Now, when you are trying to motivate staff, the most effective way is to balance transactional and transformational leadership. Dapat balance. Dapat both style, dapat meron itong leader na to. Meron yung a good leader, no? Tapos, ideally, transformational leadership should be at the organizational health. Okay? Usually, ito yung mga CEO. Ayan. Usually, yung mga transformational leadership. Kapag sinabi namang transactional, a few managers who manage mid-level employees. Okay? So, usually, in transactional style, yan yung mga humahawak ng mga employee. Okay? Yung in transformational leadership, ayan na yung mga CEO, managers ng kanilang mga hawak. Kaya dapat balance yan. Okay? So, meron tayong topic number 4, servant leadership. Empowering teams for entrepreneurial growth. Okay. So, ito, discuss ko lang, no? Meron tayong servant leadership, another style din to, no? So, empowering teams to servant leadership. Meron tayong old at saka new school. Ito yung dati, no? They views leadership as a position to achieve, no? Ito yung dati rin, no? They use, samantala ngayon, ito yung bago na ngayon. They views yung leadership as a chance to serve others. Okay? Kasi ito, yung old school, no? Gusto niya yung mataas na posisyon kasi nga, for achievement niya. Pero ngayon, no? Yung new school, yung servant leadership, they view leadership as a chance to serve others. Parang gusto niyang maging leader para makapag-serve siya to others. Okay? Yung dati, they use power and control to drive performance. Okay, ngayon, shares power and control to drive engagement. Okay? So, dati, no, yung leader, para sumunod yung kasi meron siyang authority kasi siya yung boss. So, kaya niyang i-control yung tao niya, no? Kung ano yung sabihin niya para sa ikakaganda ng company, susunod sila. Kasi nga, may power siya, may authority. Pero ngayon, they share yung power and control to drive engagement. Gusto niya lahat mag-engage. Okay, ito naman, they measure success through output. No? Ito naman, they measure success through growth and development. So, ibig sabihin, yung old school ng servant leadership, gusto niya makaproduce ng magandang output. Ito naman, gusto niya maging successful kasi gusto niyang hindi lang makaproduce ng output, no? But mag-develop ang bawat isa. Itong old school, they speak. Itong new school naman, they listen. No? Itong old school, they believe it's about them. Ito naman, they understand it's not about them. So, if you can see, no, dati, ganyan yung leaders na sa taas, na management, susunod lang employees, customers. Ngayon naman, yung new school ng servant leadership, no, from customers, kung ano yung gusto nila, gagawin ng employee, kung ano yung gusto nila, hanggang management. Tapos, yung leader magde-decide, okay, magde-develop ng mga decision making through doon sa nakuhang feedback. So, yun lang. Ayan. So, na-explain ko na yan. So, proceed tayo sa next topic. Ito last na to. Cultivating servant. How are you going to cultivate? Okay. So, empowerment, no? Ito yung ability to support others in reaching their full potential. Okay? If you are a servant leader, okay, you empower your people. Okay? Standing back. No, ibig sabihin, when we say standing back, prioritizing followers, giving credit to their contribution. Okay? Of course, if you are a servant leader, humility, so maintaining modest perspective on oneself. Authenticity, genuine and true in professional, public, and private interaction. Because as a servant leader, you have the courage, willingness to take risks, innovate, and confront fears. No? Accountability, holding oneself and others responsible for their action. Acceptance, no? Understanding and respecting others' perspective. Ito yung pinakahuli, no? Stewardship. Practicing service for the greater good of the organization or the society. Okay. So, yan lang. Ito yan. Isa ko lang yan kanina. Siya na rin yan. Okay. Okay. How are we going to implement yung servant leadership? Okay? Una-una, understand natin yung employee and individual, not as a worker. No? Minsan kasi, pag ikaw yung boss, parang inaano mo, slave mo sila, susunod sila, ganun. Pero, i-understand natin kung anong situation nila. Okay? Now, second is discover the stressor in the employee's life. Ano ba yung nagpapa-stress sa kanila? Baka pwede mo naman gawa ng paraan. Minsan may mga work na hindi naman nakakagulo lang, no? Or redundant na lang. Okay? As a servant leadership, dapat nag-iisip ka ng paraan. Ano ba yung magandang way? Tatanggalin na lang natin to kasi redundant naman yung work na to, no? So, lahat ng iniisip mo for the benefit of the employee. Understand the moment that matters employees' lives. Ayan, pag minsan nagli-leave sila, i-allow mo sila, no? Lalo na pag, kunyari, a-attend ng mga anniversary, no? Yung mga special family occasions, ayan, dapat intindihin din natin sila. Show appreciation for employees. Ito napaka-importante, no? Yung i-honor mo din sila, no? I-praise mo rin yung mga ginagawa nilang kabutihan. Hindi yung lahat sa'yo lahat ng praise. Yan yung servant leadership. Ito yung last. Remove employees obstacle. Okay. So, ibig sabihin, yung tanggalin mo yung mga ways na hindi nakakatulong sa mga employees. Okay? So, yan yung servant leadership. Ito yung pinaka-last na. Yan, explain ko na yan. Ito yung pinaka-last, yung visionary leadership. Okay? So, ito yung shaping the future of entrepreneurship. Visionary. Ayan. Another style to, no? Visionary thinking. What is it and why it is important for leaders? No? So, when we say visionary thinking, it is the ability to see the big picture and potential for what could be. No? Visionary leader is a forward thinking, no? Advance mag-isip kumbaga. No? Constantly seeking new possibilities and focus on creating better future. Okay? So, visionary thinking is breaking down long-standing norms that have always dictated how the industry function and what companies are expected to be like in coming years. No? As a forward-thinking leaders, passionate about their vision, can inspire their team to follow them and obey them, gain greater insight into the organization future. Yun yung last style ng visionary. Ito naman visionary leader, no? Advance siya mag-isip, iniisip niya yung big picture, no? Minsan nahihirapan yung team, pero dahil visionary siya, no? Nakikita niya yung big picture ng kakalabasan ng paghihirap nila in the future. Okay? So, yan lang yung mga leadership style ng pagiging entrepreneur, and these are our references. So, that's the end of our topic. Thank you for listening and see you next meeting.